March 12th, 2004. Lynn asks why we live off-site. So the italics here are her questions and then my answers to them. Lynn asked, I'm curious as to why you have chosen to live off-site. I answered saying, my husband and I always left our doors open, and because of the lack of facilities, that meant that all of the volunteers and guests used our bathroom and our kitchen, and the gift shop was in the dining room. Some of the cats lived in the house, so tours came through to meet them. All hours of the day and night there were people in my home. A year after my husband disappeared, I started dating, and that was awkward under the conditions. I moved back to a house that was 3 miles away that I had refused to sell when Don and I moved to Easy Street because I loved it so. This too is a magical place. Jamie was living in a trailer on Easy Street, so she moved into my home, and her trailer became the gift shop, restroom, and volunteer area. Last year, we needed much more space for the gift shop and volunteers, so the volunteers took over the Rustic Cabin, and Jamie moved next door to me on the island so that we can convert the largest building on the property to offices, gift shop, and a media room where we hold meetings and do audio-visual presentations. We just completed that move last month. We still have 6 people on property to watch out for the cats, and Jamie and I can be there in 5 minutes. I have to run a real estate business, and until last year continued to try and do that from Easy Street. But we have 50 volunteers, and even though the volunteer committee was designed to alleviate that responsibility for me, volunteers still all wanted to stop into my office and say hello. Most were quick about it, but there are always a lot of people who are there because they have no life and they desperately want someone to notice them, to care about them. And they would stand in my doorway for an hour telling me all the wonderful things they did for the cats. I absolutely love my volunteers, but because of the volume of them, I couldn't get any work done. When I am there, every decision is deferred to me. But when I am not there, they do a wonderful job of making their own decisions, and I try to support them, even when it may not have been what I would have done. I supply cell phones to the staff, and everyone carries 2-way radios or radio phones, so I am never more than a ring away in an emergency. My daughter found the same problem in living on the property. Guests come from all over the world and are hungry to know everything there is to know about Big Cat Rescue, how it operates, and most people want to talk to the highest ranking person they can find. As president, Jamie was always having to entertain guests and unable to do her job. Her job is to run the administrative side of Easy Street and to raise money through the gift shop and online sales shop. She raises more than $150,000 of our $500,000 budget each year by creating the adoption and membership packets, orchestrating the fur ball, and keeping the gift shop stocked and orders filled. She works 5 to 6 days a week from 9 a.m. until 6 or 7 p.m., and then at night she works on our videos, ad copy, and other graphics needs at home. Living on property, she found that after hours, the volunteers all seemed to congregate in her living room, so she never had a moment of privacy. Considering she's been doing this since she was 12, that means half her life has been like this, and she is really happy to be living off property now. Lynn says, when we meet on Tuesday, I shall have with me the $35 fee for my volunteer shirt, zookeeper training, and safari guide and information packet. Can I pay for this via check? I'm planning on attending the volunteer orientation scheduled for March the 27th. I would like to begin my Sunday/Monday schedule at Big Cat Rescue on Sunday, April the 4th. The 7-year anniversary of my father's death is April 3rd. How does this sound to you? I wrote her back. Since the cats will surely benefit from your book, how about we swap it out and call it even? I know the book is not ready yet, but I am sure you are good for it. I talked to Jamie a little today about you staying on property, and she reminded me that red shirts aren't allowed to be on site by themselves until they reach yellow. You could do that pretty quickly, based on minimum hours required, but it takes 6 months to move from red to yellow to make sure that a person is exposed to a broad range of activities and circumstances. The cabins are just outside our back fence, but if we lock you in there when no one is at Easy Street, you can't get off the property. Frankly, I don't know when there would ever be a time that no one was at Easy Street, but it could happen on a Sunday afternoon. We have to make allowances for interns who live there as red shirts, so I'm sure we can work something out. I just need to discuss it with the volunteer committee and make sure everyone feels comfortable. You are right that resentment grows quickly when they think someone is getting special privileges, but you would only be getting the same privilege as an intern by spending the night and would be giving a lot of hours to justify it. I am wondering how rigid your schedule is. For the first few months, until everyone is comfortable with you being left alone with the cats, it may be better to have you there on 2 weekdays because we have cabin guests during the week and have to have someone there to lock them out back by the cabins after 10 p.m. And you could get all of your stuff done and be in the cabin, if empty, or at least behind the fence by 10 p.m. Once everyone was comfortable that you weren't going to hurt yourself or hurt the cats, then you could switch to the Sunday-Monday schedule so that there would be more availability of cabin space. Friday and Saturdays are the only nights the cabins are usually fully booked. We have 4, but one is being used by an intern this summer.